Dear Pioneer family, hello everyone. It is late at night here in Silicon Valley. Outside the window, Palo Alto has quieted down and most of the lights have gone out. But I know that on the other side of the earth, in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, there are countless pairs of eyes staring at phone screens, staring at the red and green candlestick charts, on exchanges, with moods rising and falling with every jump in price. Just 1 hour before recording this podcast, I saw a massive sell order in the back end. An early pioneer sold off all the pie he had accumulated over 6 years in one go. In that instant, the price took a noticeable dip, and a panicked discussion immediately erupted in the community. Some cursed him as a traitor, some called him a dumper, and others began to waver, asking me if they should run too. Watching these arguments, I did not feel angry. What I felt was a deep sense of powerlessness as a sociologist, and an impulse to embrace everyone. In today's episode, I do not want to talk about technology. I do not want to talk about the ecosystem. I want to talk about human nature and the sociological significance behind the action of selling. I want to tell you, when you press the sell button, you are not just conducting a financial transaction. You are actually casting a vote. You are casting a vote against the future of this network. First, I want to make a very important statement. I do not blame anyone who sells pie. In the community, as long as someone sells coins, they are labeled as short-sighted or lacking vision. But I think this moral kidnapping is unfair. As an anthropologist, I know deeply that everyone's life situation is different. Perhaps the child of that pioneer who just sold is sick and needs money urgently. Perhaps his family is in trouble due to inflation and urgently needs this money to pay rent. Perhaps he is simply tired and has exhausted his patience in this 7-year marathon. For these people, pie is their life-saving straw. They cash out to survive. This choice, based on the instinct for survival, deserves respect and should not be blamed. However, apart from this group of people who are forced to sell, there is a large amount of selling in the market that stems from another psychology, the panic of the prisoner's dilemma. Think about it. Why do you want to sell? Because you are afraid. You are afraid that others will sell first, the price will drop, and the pie in your hand will be worthless. You are afraid that if you don't run now, you won't be able to run tomorrow. This is a typical gun-jumping psychology. In game theory, this is called the tragedy of the commons. Everyone wants to let their sheep eat one more mouthful before the grass is eaten up. The result is that the grass dies, and all the sheep starve to death. When we magnify this psychology to the scale of 19 million people, it forms a disaster. Everyone rushes to exchange pie for fiat currency, causing the price to fall. The falling price triggers greater panic, and more people sell. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy because you think it will fall. You sell, and as a result, it really falls. So, what I want to discuss today is not, can I sell? But what do we actually lose when we sell in panic? I want to take everyone back to my alma mater, Stanford University. Here, a famous psychological experiment was once conducted, the marshmallow experiment. Researchers gave a group of children one marshmallow each and told them, you can eat it now. But if you can resist eating it for 15 minutes, I will give you another one, and you can have 2 marshmallows. Everyone knows the result. Those children who couldn't wait to eat the marshmallow got the sweetness of the moment, but lost the opportunity to double it. And those children who could resist not eating, although they experienced a tormented wait, eventually received a greater reward. Follow-up studies found that those children who could delay gratification were often more successful in their future lives. Dear pioneers, Pi Network is actually a global-scale marshmallow experiment. In 2019, we put this marshmallow named Pi into your hands. We told everyone, this is a long-term project. We need to build an ecosystem. We need time. Over these 7 years, some people couldn't hold back and deleted the app in 2020, throwing away the marshmallow. Some people couldn't hold back and sold their accounts for a few cents during over-the-counter trading in 2024, eating the marshmallow. And now, today in 2026, the mainnet is open. And although the price is still fluctuating, this marshmallow has become very big. Yet, I still see many people rushing to eat it. Why? Because waiting is anti-human. Our brain structure determines that we prefer immediate certainty and detest future uncertainty. But the charm of sociology lies in this: individual delayed gratification can create collective prosperity. Imagine if these 19 million people could each endure for 1 more year, or even just half a year. If everyone chose to lock pie in their wallets or stake it in the ecosystem instead of dumping it on exchanges, then the circulating supply in the market would decrease sharply. Meanwhile, merchants on StarMax need pi, users in Blind Lounge need pi, and new entrants need pi. When demand is increasing while supply is decreasing, what happens to the price? It will explode with amazing force, like a compressed spring. At that time, the marshmallow in your hand might not just turn into 2, but 10 or 100. This is the first logic I want to tell everyone. Your every not selling, your every lockup is actually storing water for the value of the entire network. The higher the water level in the reservoir, the higher each of our ships will float. Next, I want to elevate the topic. Transaction is voting. This is a concept repeatedly mentioned in the Web3 world, but rarely truly understood. In the traditional stock market, you buy and sell stocks. You are just a passerby, and the company's fate is decided by the board of directors. But in this decentralized digital city-state of Pi network, you are a resident, a shareholder, and a legislator. Every single Pi in your hand is a ballot. When you choose to sell, what are you voting for? You are casting a vote of no confidence. This is not just you cashing out. This is the release of a signal. You are telling the whole network, I don't believe in the future of Pi. I think the current price is the peak. I think fiat currency is safer than Pi. When thousands of people cast this vote, market confidence will collapse. When you choose to hold, what are you voting for? You are casting a vote of trust. You are telling the whole network, I am bullish on this ecosystem. I am willing to be a friend of time. I believe tomorrow's Pi will be more valuable than today's. This confidence is contagious. When everyone chooses to hold, consensus will be as hard as concrete. And when you choose to use, that is, pay in the ecosystem. What are you voting for? You are casting a vote of construction. This is the most precious vote. When you buy a cup of coffee with Pi on StarMax, you are not dumping. You are conducting value circulation. You transfer Pi to the merchant, and the merchant will continue to use it in the ecosystem. You are telling the world Pi is useful. It is not just a chip for hype, it is real currency. So, dear family, the next time you open an exchange and your finger hovers over the sell button, please stop and think for a second. Do I really want to cast this vote for collapse? This is not just about your personal profit or loss. This concerns the common destiny of 60 million people. We are grasshoppers on the same rope. We are sailors on the same ship. If everyone tears a plank off the ship to sell for money, the ship will definitely sink and everyone will die. But if everyone adds a steel plate to the ship can turn into an aircraft carrier, taking us to discover new continents. Of course, asking people to run on love forever and hold until death without selling is unrealistic. As a founder, I can not only ask for dedication, I must provide solutions. This solution is the ecosystem. Why did Nicholas and I push hackathons like crazy in 2025? Why did we spend so much effort supporting apps like Blind Lounge and Run for PI? Because we want to give everyone a reason not to sell. In the past, holding PI meant doing nothing but staring at a number. So once the price fluctuated, you wanted to sell. But now, the situation has changed. When you urgently need money, you don't need to dump on the exchange. You can go to Gargura Bank, collateralize your Pi, and borrow stable coins for turnover. Your Pi is still there. You haven't lost your chips, but you solved your life problem. When you feel bored, you don't need to sell coins and leave. You can play games and Run for Pi, or make friends in Blind Lounge. While consuming Pi, you gain happiness and social value. The ecosystem is that huge reservoir. It absorbs the Pi that would have flowed to exchanges to dump the market, keeping them within the network. It converts speculative selling pressure into life consumption. This is why I always emphasize, if you want to support Pi, the best way is not to pump the market on exchanges, but to use the ecosystem. Your every use is reinforcing the dam of this reservoir. At the end of the program, I want to say a few words to two types of pioneers respectively. To those so-called paper hands, friends who cannot hold on to their coins, please do not feel ashamed because of my words. If you really encounter difficulties, selling Pi is your right. This is what you earn through labor, and you deserve to enjoy it. The original intention of Pi Network is inclusive finance. If it can help you get through difficulties, that is its greatest value. However, if you sell only because of panic, because you listen to rumors, I hope you can calm down again. Do not let your 7 years of effort turn into cheap chips before dawn. Do not let the future you be full of regret when recalling this winter of 2026. To those steadfast, diamond hands, you are the backbone of this network. It is your lockup that locked the floor price of Pi. It is your consensus that supported the market value of Pi. In this world full of noise, you have shown extraordinary foresight and stability. I cannot promise how much the price will rise tomorrow, but I can promise As a founder, I will stand with you. My coins are also locked, like you. I have bet on the long-term future. Time will give the most generous returns to long-termists. Dear family, we are conducting an experiment unprecedented in human history. 19 million people who do not know each other, relying not on legal force, not on violent deterrence, but solely on a piece of code and a consensus, are attempting to build an independent economy. This is hard, really hard. In this process, there will be wavering, betrayal, and escape. This is the inevitability of human nature. But precisely because it is hard, it is great. Every time you resist selling, every time you choose to pay in the ecosystem, you are fighting against the weaknesses of human nature, and you are adding bricks and tiles to this digital civilization. This is not a simple transaction. This is a vote on what kind of future do we want. Are you voting for the old world controlled by Wall Street, harvesting ordinary people? Or are you voting for this new world built by ourselves, where ordinary people are masters? The choice lies between your fingers. It is late. I hope these words can help everyone find a trace of inner peace in the anxious market. Please hold the pie in your hands tightly, because it is not just money, it is our shared ballot. Thank you, everyone.